Welcome to At the Coach's Table Live. I'm executive coach and leadership psychology expert, Phyllis Reagin. I'm a former studio exec turned high impact coach, and I'm coaching leaders and creatives in the entertainment, media, creatives, and sports industries. I help my clients to improve their confidence, show up with more clarity, improve their influence so they can have the impact that they desire. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can lead effectively during times of uncertainty like RIFs and restructuring. So many of my clients have experienced this or are currently experiencing it. And there is an important leadership strategy that can help you during these really uncertain seasons in your professional life. What's happening often with uncertainty is not only do you feel ungrounded, unstable, but of course it has a ripple effect and it's impacting everyone around you. Your role as a leader is not to have all the answers. It's to lead from clarity. So I call this clarity leadership. This is leading from intentional behaviors. So not reactive behaviors, but anchoring behaviors. And I'm going to teach you about those anchoring behaviors that you can demonstrate during uncertainty at your org or in your department or on your specific team. All right, what happens often for people, leaders, when there is uncertainty, you try to control it. And that's just something that happens in the brain, right? We try to make sense of it. Our brain tries to create a narrative so we feel safe and doesn't feel so threatening and fear-based. But when you're moving from this need to overcompensate and to control, it really can be damaging to your leadership and to those that you're leading, because it can look like micromanaging. It's a lot of mental noise that you're responding to, and you're really not showing up clear. You're probably showing up as overconfident. My leaders that I coach show up two ways during uncertainty when they're not anchored into the behaviors that I'm going to teach you. One way is they demonstrate this overconfidence. They try to appear like they're unbothered, that nothing is really wrong, that everything's going to be okay, just focus on the work, I got you. And they're not doing it from a place of ill intention. They really believe that this demonstrates good leadership. But often around you, people know that you're not being transparent and honest, and they question you as their leader. They don't know if you really are telling them the truth, and it reduces psychological safety for them. So they then begin to worry more. It does just the opposite of what you probably intended to do. The second way I see my leaders show up when there's uncertainty is they get quiet. And the reason why they get quiet is they believe they need to have all the answers before they talk to their team. So they're waiting to hear what's going to happen. They may not know the full picture just like you don't, or they know more than you, but they still don't know it all. And they're waiting. And that waiting and that pausing and that not communicating to your direct reports, what happens is when people don't have information, they create what they believe to be true. And often this takes the form of gossip. So you'll notice gossip rising when there's uncertainty in your org. And that's just because people don't have enough information and they don't maybe trust what they're hearing, or there's just such a gap. There's such a lack of information that's coming to them. So these kinds of gaps are filled with noise, they're filled with gossip, they're filled with untruths. You really don't want that happening on your team. It's very hard to move from that state into one where they trust you and they believe you're being honest and transparent. So here's the leadership strategy I want you to focus on. It's called the 3 anchors of stability. The first one is to lead yourself first. We're always thinking about others, but you can't show up for your team. You cannot show up for your direct reports if you're feeling unstable yourself. So anchoring into yourself can mean many different things. One is maybe before important meetings, maybe before meetings with your direct reports, you anchor in by breathing before you actually go into those meetings, checking in with yourself. really lowering, your stress response so that you can show up with clarity and calm. Another one can be mindfulness activities that take place outside of those kind of settings that you do on your own. And that can be, maybe for some people it's meditation, others it might be taking a walk, but not problem solving, just walking calmly, quietly, peacefully, connecting to the present moment and things that are around you. One of my clients told me yesterday that when she's feeling anxious, she cooks. So it's meditative for her. She likes the sound of chopping the carrots and the cucumbers. Sometimes she's playing really calm music while she's doing it. Other times she just wants it to be quiet, peaceful, and just connecting to the action of chopping is meditative. So you want to do those kind of mindfulness practices because they're going to calm you down, get you really clear and focused and not reactive to what's happening, responsive to what's happening, and spiraling in all these worrying thoughts and emotions that might not be helpful to you. All right, that's you checking in with you. Another thing that you want to do to check in with you is to ask yourself, am I responding from what I know or from what I assume? So that can be during these meetings or just in your own thinking. You might be thinking about things that you have no evidence for. You don't know for certain if it's going to happen that way. Connect to what you do know about the RIF, about the uncertainty, about what you've been told. Just what you know. Don't let your brain go into these spiraling thoughts and try to tell you what's happening that may not be based on truth. You might have like a gut intuition that's telling you that's true, but you still don't know for certain, right? So you don't want to go down that path because your brain is really wired for negativity. So we have a negativity bias in our brain. And if you let these runaway thoughts just keep spiraling, then it's going to spiral most likely into this negative thinking that won't support you. So that's anchor number one, that lead yourself first. Anchor two, bring clarity wherever you can, whenever you can. My leaders, as I said before, they're just waiting for all the answers before they actually bring clarity to their teams. That's not what's needed. You just need to bring honesty, transparency, thoughtfulness intentionally to those interactions with your direct reports. So that's certainly not about waiting for all the answers because you may never have them, right? Or you may not have the full picture for a long time. What that looks like is this. You're saying to yourself or to them, this is what I know, this is what I don't know, and this is how we'll move through this together. I love when my leaders anchor into this because they really see a difference. Their teams calm down, they're listening, that they're watching you, and they appreciate the fact that you're just telling them like it is. So you can say this in team meetings and one-on-ones. The more often you say this, the more it raises the psychological safety with them, the more that they can trust you. So remember, this is what I do know, this is what I don't know, this is how we'll move through this together. Say it to yourself and say it to them. The third anchor that I want you to focus on is create moments of connection. So what people need during uncertainty is each other, because uncertainty can be isolating, and isolation then triggers fear in people, right? And they're doing all this thinking, all this worrying, all this trying to figure it out alone. And what they need more than ever is each other. So you want to do this for them and for yourself, and you want to demonstrate this so it has a ripple effect across your team. You can show up for them in, micro moments. It's just checking in with them in between one-on-ones. How's everything going? What feels uncertain to you right now? What's the one thing that could be stabilizing for you this week that I can help you with? Those are the kind of questions that connect you as a human being to them. They know that you care, They know that you are touching, having these touch points from a place of empathy and a place from really caring about their well-being. It's also good for you. Leaders feel very alone often when they're going through uncertainty at their orgs. They don't have other colleagues sometimes that they lean on. They're not really talking to their manager necessarily about their uncertainty. So these kind of connections are important. I tell my leaders, try it downward to your direct reports, try it across because your colleagues need it as well. And try it up because your manager might be feeling very unstable as well. So you want to check in, like what's going on? How are you experiencing this? What can be helpful to you to focus on in the week ahead? This is you connecting with others. All right, well, that's the 3 anchoring behaviors that will stabilize you as a leader as you move through uncertainty like RIFs and restructuring. One of my clients came to me recently, VP, creative producer, and she too is trying these 3 anchors. The one that really resonated with her the most was the second one, and it was just not pretending to have all the answers, but to offer clarifying leadership. When she did this, she just noticed that her team seemed to be calmer, more focused, and the beginning ripples of gossip that she noticed that was happening on her team started to dissipate. So I say, go ahead, try all 3. One might be the one that's really going to make the difference for your team. Maybe they need all 3. Test them out. Use this as an opportunity to really anchor into behaviors that are about stability and not be reactionary. Okay, if you like these kind of talks where you walk away with practical strategies that you can start applying right away, I go live every Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Wednesdays, I'm talking about everything from confidence, imposter syndrome, low self-doubt, low self-belief, and how you can use neuroscience and other types of strategies to improve those areas. Fridays, I'm giving you practical leadership strategies that will help you show up as the leader that you want to be. And on Saturdays, I'm talking about your well-being, everything from self-care to dealing with burnout and rust out, so you can feel centered, feel grounded, and ready for the week that's ahead of you. I go live at 12 p.m. 30 minutes or less, you're walking away with a great strategy, a helpful strategy, one that's effective and that will really make a difference for you and your leadership. If you like to really deepen your understanding of different strategies, go to my YouTube channel. It's at Phyllis Reagin, R-E-A-G-I-N, and you're going to see lots of different videos in these different categories of well-being and confidence and leadership that can really support you. All right, tomorrow I'm going live talking about well-being at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch it on YouTube or wherever you get your social media. You can find me going live.